Hello, good day. Welcome once again to another episode of Kwentuhan Sessions, JMBL Case Digest, wherein we discuss cases penned by Justice Mario V. Lopez in connection or in preparation for the 2024 bar exam. We are now in episode 15 as we have already reached another milestone for having 250 subscribers na. So maraming salamat po sa pagsasubscribe at pagtangkilik. At dahil doon, ito po ang episode 15 wherein we will discuss Republic of the Philippines as the petitioner versus Merle M. Maligaya, also known as Merle M. Maligaya Sarmiento as the respondent. GR number 233068, November 9, 2020. Here, the court explains the difference of substantial and clerical change with respect to correction or change in entries and how they differ as to the procedure subject to exception. Okay? So, dito yung magandang basis kapag kunyari may kakilala kayo or ikaw mismo ay um, may problema sa birth certificate mo. Okay? So, magandang kaso ito. So, for the facts, in 2016, Merly Maligaya filed a petition for correction of entries in her birth certificate under Rule 108 of the Rules of Court before the RTC. Merly prayed to change her first name from Merle, E yung dulo, to Merly, Y yung dulo. Okay? And her date of birth from February 15, 1959 to November 26, 1958. So there are two changes that Merly wants to change. Number one is for the first name to correct the spelling from Merly with an E to Merly with the Y. Okay? Yung E gagawin niyang Y. And also, the second change would be the change of date of birth from February 15, 1959 to November 26, 1958. Okay? To substantiate her claim, she presented supporting evidence, uh, which were the SSS member data E4 form, voters registration record, voter certification, voters identification card, police clearance, and NBI clearance. So, para makita na ang gamit niya talaga is merely na Y and ang gamit niyang birthday is November 26, 1958 in all of these records. Okay? So, after finding the petition sufficient in form and substance, the RTC ordered the publication of the petition in a newspaper of general circulation once a week for 3 consecutive weeks. Okay, so in order ng RTC yun, syempre para at least mapublicize na ito si Merly ay humihingi ng change dun sa kanyang pangalan and kanyang birthday. Kung meron kayong objections para sa public tungkol dito, kaya pinapapublish. So, kaya niya pinapublish kasi para nga makita or malaman kung sino man yung may mga objections dito. Okay? On December 14, 2016, the RTC granted the petition to reflect Merle's accurate personal circumstances and to avoid confusion on her public and private documents. So, nag-grant na yung kanyang pangalan from Merle with E, ngayon magiging Merle with Y, and nag-grant din yung change ng kanyang birthday from February 15, 1959 to November 26, 1958. So, nanalo siya doon. However, the OSG or the Office of the Solicitor General moved for reconsideration. Because OSG argues that the RTC has no jurisdiction to rectify the error in Merle's first name because the mistake is clerical and that must be corrected through administrative proceedings under Republic Act 9048 as amended by RA 10172. As to the date of birth, Merle properly filed a petition under Rule 108 of the Rules of Court, but she failed to comply with the requirements of Section 3 Rule 108 to implead all persons who have a claim or any interest in the proceedings. Okay, so sinasabi dito ng OSG, mali yung ginawa ni Merly. Okay, na pinagsabay niya yung dalawang change, okay, both in Rule 108. Okay, sinasabi ni OSG dito na dapat yung first name, yung change or yung correction sa kanyang first name is dapat must be done through administrative proceeding. Okay, while the change in her birth date, tama naman na Rule 108 yung naging ginamit ni Merly. However, hindi niya sinunod yung procedure to implead parties, okay, that may have a claim against her. Okay? So, yun yung sinasabi ng OSG. On Merly's part, she maintains that the correction of her first name and date of birth under Rule 108 is appropriate and that the filing of a separate petition will result in a circuitous proceeding and unjustified delay. So sinasabi niya na bakit ko pa kailangan parehirapan yung sarili ko? Bakit kailangan ko pang gumawa ng administrative way and idaan sa administrative yung first name ko while yung tungkol sa date of birth ko sa Rule 108 or through court, di ba? Ba't hindi na lang sila pagsabayin? Okay? So, yun yung contention ni Merly. Isa pa, ang sinasabi ni Merly claims that the correction of of such entries is clerical lang and strict observance with Rule 108 is not required. Lastly, the publication of the petition cured the failure to implead the indispensable party. So, ito naman, inaatake niya yung sinasabi ni OSG na mali siya dahil hindi siya nagpa-implead. So, sinasabi dito ni Merly na okay lang yun kasi nagkaroon naman ako ng publication. So, wala naman nag-object, di ba? So, yun yung sinasabi ni Merly. Okay? So, with all that contention, this is our issues for this case. So, number one, whether or not the change in Merly's first name from Merly with an E to Merly with a Y constitute substantial change. Substantial nga ba yung pag-correct ng spelling, okay, ng kanyang first name. Number two, whether or not the change in the date of birth constitute, again, substantial change. Yun. Kung substantial change nga ba. Okay? Kasi sinasabi ni Merly, hindi, clerical lang yan pareho. Okay? So, ano nga ba? Substantial nga ba or clerical? Number three, whether or not Merly followed the correct procedure in effecting the changes in her birth certificate. Okay? So, maaari kasi yung isa dito, substantial, yung isa dito, clerical. So, yung clerical, dapat dumaan ng administrative, technically speaking. Okay? So, tama nga ba yung ginawa niya ni Merly? At number four, whether or not the RTC can take cognizance of the changes in Merly's first name. Okay, kung pwede nga ba talaga na um, i i-rule or dumaan sa judicial process yung change in first name. Okay, so the rulings in this case for number one, no, Merly's first name does not constitute substantial change. Okay, here Justice Mario V. Lopez defined what is what is substantial change. Okay, so ordinarily the term substantial means consisting of or relating to substance or something that is important or essential. Okay? In relation to change or correction of an entry in birth certificate, substantial refers to that which establish or affects the substantive right of the person on whose behalf the change or correction is being sought. Thus, the changes may affect the civil status from legitimate to illegitimate, as well as the sex, civil status, or citizenship of a person are in substantial character. Okay? So, kapag daw makaka-apekto daw sa civil status, okay, sa sex, sa civil citizenship, the change would be substantial in character. Okay? On the other hand, RA 9048 as amended by RA 10172 defines clerical or typographical error as a mistake committed in the performance of clerical work in writing, copying, transcribing, or typing an entry in the civil register that is harmless and innocuous, okay, such as misspelled name or misspelled place of birth, mistake in the entry of the day and month in the date of birth, or the sex of the person, or the like, which is visible to the eyes or obvious to the understanding, and can be corrected or changed only by reference to other existing record or records. Okay? So, ito na yung distinguish. So, pag tatanong sa bar, syempre, distinguish. Okay? Kung ito yung simpleng tanong doon, distinguish clerical, typographical error, and substantial change in relation to correction of entries, di ba? So, yun. So, kapag daw, yung kaya naman daw siyang i-correct, okay, or typographical lang yung error, or kaya siyang i-correct by mere observation lang, which is visible to the eyes, okay? Or innocuous siya. Clerical lang yung error. Kaya as you can see dito, katulad ng itong sex, kunyari, yung sex, pwede maging substantial, pwede siyang maging um, clerical. Clerical ka siya, kunyari, kung kunyari, ang pangalan is James, okay? James Santiago. Okay? Tapos nakalagay is female, okay? Dun sa kanyang birth certificate. Tapos pinapa-change niya, 'di ba? Kitang-kita naman na lalaking lalaki si James Santiago. So, yun. Clerical in nature yun. Okay? Kasi, uh, innocuous naman or visible naman na ma-observe mo agad na um, na mali talaga or may typographical or nagkamali lang ng entry dun sa kanyang birth certificate. Okay? So, yun. And also, kunyari, yung sa date of birth naman, sa date of birth, ang maaring clerical is day and month lang, okay? Day and month. Yung year, okay, ibang usapan yun, okay? So, kasi may magbabago sa pagdating sa year. Later, i-discuss din ni Justice Mario V. Lopez yun. Okay? So, yun. In Republic versus Mercadera, okay, we ruled that the correction of the petitioner misspelled first name from Marilyn to Merlin involves only a clerical mistake. In Republic versus Court of Appeals, Jaime B. Caranto and Zenaida P. Caranto, the correction involved the substitution of the letter CH for letter D, so what appears to be Maidael as given name would read Michael. In the latter case, this court is with the agreement of the Solicitor General that the error was plainly clerical. So, Maidael daw yung nakalagay sa sa birth certificate, baka mali yung 'di ba, pagkakasulat, syempre sinusulat mo na 'yan, 'di ba? O baka masyado magkadikit yung C tsaka H, kaya ang inisip is Maidael, pero ang talaga is Michael. Okay, so pinayagan, okay, na clerical lang yun. Okay? So here, the correction of Merle's first name from Merle with an E to Merle with a Y refers to a clerical or typographical error. It merely rectified the erroneous spelling through the substitution of the second letter E in Merle with the letter Y. So it will read as Merle. To be sure, the documentary evidence satisfactorily shows that Merle's first name is not with an E, as incorrectly indicated in the birth certificate. Okay, so kita din naman kahit sa typewriter o kaya sa keyboard, di ba? Maaari talaga na magkamali or magkaroon ng typo kasi nasa parehong row yung letter E tsaka yung Y sa ating keyboard or typewriter, di ba? Kung QWERTY yan, di ba? So, kasama yung E. So, maaring na ano lang, na nalagay lang or maaring mali lang yung dinig nung nagsusulat. Okay? Akala, Merle. So, Merle pala. Okay? So, yun yung maaring naging cause ng error na ito. Okay? More importantly, the correction will neither affect or prejudice substantial rights. So wala naman daw masasaktan kapag pinalitan mo yung E, gagawin mong Y. So wala naman sigurong mag-o-object doon. The innocuous error in Merle's first name may be corrected or changed under under RA 9048 by referring to related documents. Yung documents na bit-bit niya, yung SSS membership form, police clearance, voter's ID, and so on. Okay, so dun sila nag-refer. So, maaari naman. Okay, so here, Justice Mario V. Lopez ruled that the correction in the spelling of the first name is a clerical one as it will not affect any substantive right. Okay, so again, the ruling here is that the change in the spelling in the first name is a clerical error. Okay? Take note of that. Kasi yun yung gagamitin natin sa ruling number 3. Okay? Pero punta muna tayo sa ruling number 2. Whether or not Merle's date of birth constitute substantial change. Justice Mario V. Lopez and the Supreme Court said that yes, okay, it constitute substantial change. Justice Mario V. Lopez said, the age of a person is a matter of public concern and an essential component of one's status in law. A change in a person's date of birth in which an alteration in his age is a necessary consequence significantly affects his status with regards to matters such as marriage and family relation, obligations and contracts, and exercise of legal rights. Okay? So, meaning, kapag pinalitan mo daw yung date of birth, lalo-lalo na yung year, okay, it will affect yung substantive rights, lalo-lalo na yung capacity to act, di ba? Kasi, syempre, yung minority, papasok yun, di ba? Kasi kung babaguhin mo yung year, maaring pag binago mo yun, magbabago yung rights niya, baka maging minor siya bigla, okay? Or yung mga ginawa niya dati, hindi pala pwede. Kasi nga, ang tamang birthday is yung magmumukha siyang minor, di ba? So, a change in the date, month, and year of birth, okay, lalo yung year, is a substantial change, okay? Here, the correction of Merle's date of birth is a substantial change, changing the month, day, and year, okay, from February 15, 1959 to November 26, 1958, okay? So, yun. So, dahil merong change sa year, na ituring na substantial change yun. However, dun sa just to refer to my in our discussion when I was still in law school, may discussion kami, sabi ng prof ko, si Attorney Bronzial, maaari pa rin na kahit year yung baguhin, clerical pa rin yun. Okay? Kasi maaaring obvious naman na nagkamali lang. Okay? So, kunyari, ang nakalagay is ang birthday is September 2, 1889. Okay? Tapos nagpapa-change ka ng birthday from September 2, 1989. Okay? So, nagkabaliktad kasi sila, nagkaroon ng transposition, di ba? Or tapos nagpapa-change ngayon daw. So, kitang-kita naman na obvious na hindi ka naman siguro mabubuhay noong 1889 pa. Okay? Kaya nga pinababago mo yung year. Okay? So, kapag ganun ka-obvious naman daw, maaari pa rin i-turing na yung change sa year ng date of birth is still um, clerical, okay? Kung obvious naman, di ba? So, kunyari, ang nakalagay is 1924, okay? Tapos, ang tama pala is 1942. Pero, ang makikita mo naman talaga or hindi mo mahahalata kung ano talaga yung matanda na kas talaga siya. So, yun, maaaring substantial change na yun. Pero yung nakalagay 1889, di ba? Dapat pala 1989. Ayan. So, kailangan talagang clerical change lang yan. Kasi kita naman na mukhang bata pa rin at buhay na buhay pa rin yung nasa harap mo at nagpapa-change nga ng ano. So, clerical yun, pwedeng sabihin. Pero in this case, okay, sorry na, balik tayo. Ito, okay, maaaring hindi kasi makita since lalo nga, ito, 1 year lang in difference and months lang. Kaya, tinuring na substantial change siya. Okay, na na add ko lang sa discussion yan para at least meron kayong maisip na exception sa pag sinabing year ba, laging substantial change yun. Okay? So, generally, um, yes, okay. Ang exception kapag, 'di ba, obvious naman. Na hindi talaga siya dun sa year na yun. Okay? Not unless curious case of Benjamin Button, ganun or whatsoever. Anyways, okay? So going back, so number one, the first name is considered a clerical change. Number two, the birthday, date of birth is considered substantial change. Given na magkaiba sila, mayroon kang clerical, may kang substantial change. Tama nga ba, okay, dun sa issue number three, tama nga ba na parehong ginamit or ang ginamit ni Merle is Rule 108 for the two changes. Okay? So, yun yung issue sa number 3. Okay? So, sumunod nga ba si Merle sa rules or sa procedures? Okay? So, the court ruled no, Merle did not follow the correct procedures in effecting the changes in her birth certificate. Okay? As far as her change in her first name, RA 9048 as amended by RA 10172 defines clerical error at typographical error. Okay? So, define na natin yun. Okay? The innocuous error in Merle's first name may be corrected or changed under RA 9048 by referring to related documents and through administrative proceedings. Okay? Kapag RA 9048, diba? Through local civil registrar na lang yun. Okay? So, kung tutuusin, dapat administrative proceeding through the local civil registrar lang siya. Okay? While the change in her birthday is tama, substantial siya, tama, nasa Rule 108 siya, ang ginamit, judicial proceedings. However, okay, Merely failed to observe the required procedures under Section 3, 4, and 5 of Rule 108. Okay? Aside from the Office of the Solicitors General, all other indispensable parties should have been made respondent. So, ito yung inatake ni OSG, di ba? Na hindi niya inimplead, okay? They include not only the declared father of the child, but the child as well, together with the parental grandparents, if any, and their hereditary rights would be adversely affected thereby. All other person who may be affected by the change should be notified or represented. Okay? So, and all persons who have claim in any interest which could have been affected thereby in the title of the petition and publication are not sufficient notice to all interested parties. So, yun nga, sabi ni OSG, kailangan na i-impede mo yung mga taong dapat na interesado or maging apektado doon. Okay? So, uh, may hereditary right sa'yo, parents mo, grandparents mo, kailangan nandun din yun. At the publication does not cure, okay, the requirement, okay, na kailangang i-implead sila. Okay, yun yung sinasabi. Tapos, Justice Mario V. Lopez cited Tan versus Office of the Local Civil Registrar of Manila where the Supreme Court ruled that impleading and notifying only the local civil registrar and the publication of the petition are not sufficient compliance with the procedural requirements. However, the subsequent publication of a notice of hearing may cure the failure to implead and notify the affected or interested party, such as when, okay, so dito sa TAN, sinabi niya na generally, okay, yung publication hindi daw mag-cure sa requirement na kailangan i-implead mo yung parties. However, may exception. Okay? The subsequent publication of a notice of hearing may cure the failure to implead and notify the affected or interested parties when, okay, ito yung exception, earnest efforts were made by petitioner in bringing to court all possible interest parties. So, nag-effort ka na itipunin lahat ng kilala mo or dapat na interested parties. Okay? Pero wala. The parties themselves initiated the corrections proceedings. Letter C and C, there is no actual or presumptive awareness of the existence of the interested parties or when a party is inadvertently left out. Okay? However, none of these exceptions are present in this case. Okay? So, yung in-enumerate na exception sa TAN versus Office of the Local Registrar of City of Manila, hindi, wala dito sa case ni Merly. There was no earnest effort on the part of Merly to bring to court her parents and siblings, if any, and other parties who may have an interest in the petition. Also, these indispensable parties are not the ones who initiated the proceedings. Okay, so um, yun yung maaaring second exception kapag yung interested parties mismo, okay man, nanay, tatay mo o siblings mo, sila yung mismo nag-petition in behalf of you. Ay hindi naman in this case kasi si Merly talaga. Okay? Merly cannot possibly claim that she was not aware actually or presumptively as to the existence or whereabouts of this interested party. So, hindi naman niya sinabi or hindi niya pwedeng sabihin na hindi niya alam kung nasan tong mga interested parties na to. Likewise, it does not appear that the indispensable parties were inadvertently or unintentionally left out when merely filed the petition. Taken together, the failure to strictly comply with the requirements under Rule 108 renders the proceedings void for the correction of substantial errors. So, dito, sinabi ng court through Justice Mario V. Lopez na yung change in date of birth niya, although tama na Rule 108, pero hindi niya sinunod ng buong buo o nakapag-comply sa sections 3, 4, and 5 ng Rule 108, kaya yung change ng kanyang birthday is void. Okay? So, reverse yung pag-grant ng RTC. Okay? Okay? So, however, okay, pagdating naman dun sa first name, okay, una ang sabi natin dahil clerical error lang siya, dapat administrative, okay? Pero ang tanong, pwede pa rin ba, okay, kahit administrative yung procedure, pwede pa rin bang mag-rule dito ang RTC? Ito yung nasa issue number 4. Can RTC take cognizance given na clerical error lang yung pinapakorek. Okay? And the court said through Justice Mario V. Lopez, yes, okay? Yes, the RTC can take cognizance of the changes in Merly's first name. Okay? We sustain the correction of clerical mistake. Okay? Sabi ni Justice Mario V. Lopez, in Merly's first name through filing of a petition under Rule 108. Ideally, Mary should have filed the petition with the local civil registrar. Only when the petition is denied can the RTC take cognizance of the case. We emphasize that RA 9048 as amended by RA 10172 did not divest the trial courts of jurisdiction over petition for correction of clerical or typographical errors in birth certificate. The local civil registrar administrative authority to change or correct similar errors is only primary but not exclusive. As aptly applied in Republic of the Philippines versus Charlie Mintas Felix, aka Shirley Mintas Felix, with the advent of RA 9048 as amended by RA 10172, the RTCs are not divested of their jurisdiction to hear and decide petitions for correction of entries, and that even the failure to observe the doctrine of exhaustion of administrative remedies does not change the jurisdiction of the court. At any rate, the doctrine of primary administrative jurisdiction is not absolute and may be dispensed with for reasons of equity. In this case, Merely had presented testimonial and documentary evidence with the RTC, had evaluated and found sufficient to require Merely to file a new petition with the local civil registrar, and start the process all over again would not be in keeping with the purpose of RA 9048 of giving people an option to have the erroneous entries in their civil records corrected through administrative proceedings that is less expensive and more expeditious. It will be more prudent for Merly and other persons similarly situated to allow multiple corrections and or cancellations of entries in a single action under Rule 108 on, rather than two separate petitions before the RTC and the local civil registrar. This will avoid multiplicity of suits and further litigation between parties, which is offensive to the orderly administration of justice. So, ito talaga yung pinaka-doctrinal na dito, okay, na dito sa ruling or sa case na to. Okay, wherein the Supreme Court through Justice Mario V. Lopez now allows, okay, is saying that pwede pa rin naman, okay, kahit clerical yung error, ang pumunta sa court or through judicial proceedings. Sinabi dito na the proceedings with the administrative proceedings is primary, okay, but not exclusive. Hindi naman sinasabi na doon lang sa local civil registrar yung mga clerical errors, okay? Pwede pa rin naman daw dito, hindi naman daw tinanggalan ng kapangyarihan or jurisdiction yung RTC. Pwede pa rin silang mag-rule in cases where there are petitions for the change or correction of the first name. Okay? Na syempre, kaya ginagawa to kasi nga, kaya lang naman nagkaroon ng RA 9048 daw is para lang naman na padaliin yung proseso kung saan hindi naman na kailangan pumunta sa korte dati kasi kailangan pa pumunta sa korte, 'di ba? Para change yung first name mo or para i-correct yung mga clerical errors mo, which entails costs kasi kailangan mo ng abogado to file a petition for you, to draft the petition for you. Ngayon, may option ka lang, okay? May option ka lang to go to the administrative proceeding. Pero kung meron ka man na pwedeng isabay sa Rule 108, katulad nito tungkol sa date of birth na substantial at kailangan na naka Rule 108, sinasabi ng court, pwede naman, okay? Hindi kailangang tanggihan ng regional trial court or ng RTC ito. Okay, meron para silang jurisdiction dito. And also, yung doctrine of primary administrative jurisdiction is not absolute and may be dispensed for reasons of equity. Okay? Kung gusto mo lang naman i-correct, 'di ba? Para hindi na magkamali or hindi ka mahirapan sa pagkuha ng claims and so on. So yun, may option ka pa din na pwede mong pagsabayin sa through Rule 108. And also it declogs, okay, yung or it helps pala in the administration of justice. Okay? So again, this is Republic of the Philippines versus Merly M. Maligaya, San Sarmiento, okay? Wherein Justice Mario V. Lopez said that differentiated um, the difference or distinguish substantial corrections or changes as against to clerical or typographical errors. Wherein kapag substantial change, okay, kailangan nasa Rule 108 siya. Okay, substantial siya kapag it will affect substantive rights. Okay, change which affects the civil status, sex, and citizenship are substantial in character. Clerical or typographical siya kapag it is just a misspelled name, misspelled place of birth, mistake in the entry of day and month in the date of birth, and the sex of the person which is visible to the eyes or obvious to the understanding. Okay? So, clerical yon. Okay? And again, may proseso, may different process yon kapag clerical or typographical. Ideally, dapat daw through administrative proceedings with the local civil registrar, okay, as provided for RA 9048 as amended by RA 10172. Okay, administrative proceedings ideally, okay? And then kapag substantial, okay, Rule 108, okay? Judicial yung proceedings natin and you still have to uh, go through the requirements, specifically yung impleading of interested parties, okay? Subject to exceptions as provided by the case in the case of TAN versus Office of the Civil Registrar of City of Manila. Kapag wala doon or wala doon yung exception or hindi ka kasama sa exception, kailangan mo pa rin silang i-implead yung parents mo, siblings mo, at yung may mga hereditary rights sa iyo. Okay? So yun. And lastly, um, yung yung rule na yung clerical or typographical error is dapat through administrative proceedings lang. Sabi dito, inaalaw na ng court na pwede kang mag-judicial pa din. Okay? Again, the court said na the administrative proceedings are primary but not exclusive and that the RTC was not divested jurisdiction. Meron pa rin silang jurisdiction to over cases in changes of or correction of clerical errors. Okay, ang ginawa lang ng RA 9048 is to simplify the process. However, kung mas may sisimple pa dahil may isasabay naman na substantial change o yung correction mo, lahat, ilagak mo na lahat yon sa Rule 108. Hindi na kailangan na pumunta ka pa or magkaroon ka pa ng separate proceedings through administrative proceedings. Kasi nga, circuitous or dodoblehin mo pa. Okay? So, sabi ng court, ang purpose nga is pasimplihin natin. Kung ganun yung mangyayari, hindi na simple yun. Okay? Hopefully, we have understood this case and the doctrines that Justice Mario V. Lopez wanted us to teach us, okay, that we may use in our bar exam. Actually, this is one of two, okay? So, meron pang isa regarding change and correction of entries, okay? So, syempre yung isa pa para na yun sa mga paid subscribers natin, okay? But anyways, maraming salamat again for continued patronage with our YouTube. Okay, maraming salamat sa pag-subscribe, sa pag-share, at pagla-like, lalo na sa mga nagla-like ng mga videos. Of course, please do put in your comments kung gusto nyo pa pong pagpatuloy ko ito. Ayan, or nagugustuhan nyo. Or syempre, share nyo din for everyone. Okay, kaya naman to nilalabas sa YouTube para at least lahat tayo may mataas na chance, di ba, makapasa. Okay, this is my way of sharing what I have learned and para lahat tayo to collect good karma na rin, di ba? So, yun, share lang ng share. Again, for every 50, I'll add another 2 episodes. So pag nakarating na naman tayo ng 300, another 2 episodes na naman yun, 17 and 18. Okay? So yun. And also, if you still want to add more to that or kung gusto nyong makakuha ng mga NBank cases na naka-audio case digest, I'll be leaving in the comment section yung link para makakuha yung para dun sa written form ng case digest na ito para dun sa 160 case digest. Okay, if you want to subscribe and when you subscribe, you have also access to the audio case digest na hindi ma-upload dito sa YouTube na exclusive lang para sa mga paid subscribers. Okay? So yun, maraming salamat po at sana'y nakatulong po tayo at good day and happy aral sa ating lahat. Thank you.